Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the influences that are around Aquarius for the month of October. If you're new to my channel, then obviously welcome to you if you're stumbling across it for the first time. What I tend to do is meditate on the cards prior for me pulling the actual cards out that I'm going to be using for the reading, which allows me then to do my little bit of added poetry on the end of the reading. The cards that I'm using, guys, are both decks by Colette Baron Reid, and we have the Good Tarot and Wisdom of the House of Night, and I will put those links below for you. So without further ado, I'm going to be reading for Aquarius now. So I'm just going to take this card out the way because that's the card that I've got the poetry on. And without further ado, we'll just get straight into the reading then, guys. So the first two cards I pulled out for you, Aquarius, we had the Justice card and the Five of Water. And when I looked at the cards, it's like something's coming back round again. Something's resurfacing. Because I just see this as yourself, basically. And it's like there's something coming back into your view. It's like something's being revisited, and looking at the Justice card, at the time when whatever this is, that's going to be revisited by yourselves, which obviously, hopefully, will open up a little bit more as we go along the reading. But at the time when this was in your life previously, all was good and fair in however you left the situation, basically. It was an amicable situation that there was no loose ends or anything like that. There was all closure on it, and everything seemed, like I say. So coming into October, this is something that you didn't really expect. You didn't think this, whatever it is, until I open up the reading. You didn't think that you would have to be resurfacing, revisiting whatever this is going to be. So I'm just going to open it up a little bit more, because obviously as I do these readings, I'll get more information come to me, guys. So we've got the High Priestess of Water coming out with the Eight of Water. And like I say, this is something, as I said, I feel that's resurfacing. There's something from in your past that you thought had been done and dusted, and whether that be a relationship where it was an amicable split, and you both went on parted ways. Because looking at this card now, with the Eight of Water, this is what I'm feeling. This is like you standing there watching somebody, or something go out of your life, which obviously at the time was quite an emotional pull on you. And having the High Priestess of Water, I just feel it was obviously it was a very emotional time. So I am going on along the vibe here, I think, of a past relationship, because the resurfacing of this here, this to me feels like obviously it was something that was in the past, a past relationship, and that to me signifies a heart shape there. But I do feel that whoever this person is that you had this connection with, and that you parted waves with, and I don't think it was parted waves as in a unfavourable situation. It was just, it had to be, basically. They either had to go abroad or leave where the city that you lived, or the town where you lived. They had to actually move districts or move actual countries. So there was, at the time, it was very emotional, because there were feelings there tied in, laced in between you. So at the time of the parting of the waves, so to speak, it was quite an emotional, heart-wrenching period. But it was just something that you had to accept, and you did accept. and I do feel this tie, this parting of the waves is going back quite a bit. It could be looking at, you know, near on 2 years, where you've, you know, not really had any further connection from this person, and that's why I feel it's more drawn that they were abroad, that they actually went abroad, more so than, you know, moving towns or cities, because obviously if you're still in the same country, you know, that there's always you know, there's always opportunity to meet up with old friends, isn't there? Or old, you know, I'm not saying to meet up with old lovers, but I do feel that something's coming around again for you, and I just feel that this person is coming back. This person is coming back to the country that they left, wherever you are. So wherever you're living at the moment, they are coming back to where you know, into the area of where you live. So this is what I'm picking up here. Obviously it's not going to resonate with everybody. I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. So yeah, obviously after they sort of went out of your life, then, you know, you just carried on and focused on what you needed to do. But it's weird really, because when I look at this as well, it reminds me of like a cherub arrow. It's like when you were saying, you know, parting waves with them, and you know, you just felt, you know, you just knew that they were going out of your life for quite some time. It's like you fired an arrow, like a love arrow, to go with them. It was sort of a it was sort of at the time a sort of don't forget me type of vibe, and I do feel that you did have communication with them for a short period of time when they did move away, but then obviously that communication over the period broke down, so you sort of more or less sort of wrote them out your life, you know, and you carried on with your life, as people do. But for some reason I'm just picking up, Aquarius, that something is definitely going to be resurfacing itself here. On like I say, on the one side of the coin, I'm looking at the love relationship side here to start with, and this is how it's unfolding. So I'll just carry on with the reading, and we've got Page of Water and Seven of Air. Now, again, looking at the Page of Water, this to me, it's like you being aware of hearing the news that this person is coming back. It may be that you've already had some notification, and because what I feel is, even though they went away, you still kept ties with family members, because like I say, I do feel it was a relationship for quite a substantial period of time, enough for you to get involved with their family and close friends, and I still think there was a tie there with their family, you know, where you would sort of hear the odd snippet of how they were going on or what they were doing. But it's like I say, it's just about resurfacing this, is guys, and it's information that'll be coming from a family or a friend member to say to you, by the way, so-and-so's coming back, they're moving, they've finished with what they needed to do over there, they miss their family, and they've got the pull and sensation of wanting to come back. Thought I'd let you know, and this is the thing now. This is again resurfacing these two cards here. So, you know what I mean? It's like you're actually like going to be looking out for this now, to think that somebody who you haven't seen for a long time is coming back into your life. So I'm just going to put those back down there a second, and we'll continue with the reading. Like I say, you've had ties, Aquarius. You still have the odd tie here with a family or friend member of theirs that sort of kept you in the know. Not, you know, not on like an every week or every day basis, because I say it was an emotional pull for you when you had to part ways with them. But it was an amicable agreement, because they needed to, you know, follow their dream really with their career. And I think you were quite young at the time. It was like you were, you were quite young yourselves, within the relationship. So I'm sort of looking at this relationship in your mid-20s. So it was like quite like an early on relationship I'm picking here. But obviously as the years, I'll say the years, it could be like I say 2 years, 3 years. I think there's been a year, well over a year gap here with the parting. But like I say, you've still had contact with family members. So I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. And we've got the moon coming out with Messenger of Earth. Now I feel these two cards are relating to them. It's like it's gone full cycle to them. And it's like that they're coming back. Like there's been, obviously the space, a long period of time of space between you. But there's always been that connection. Because I just see, with the crescent moon here on the cat, and then the crescent moon here on yourself. There's always been a connection, even though you haven't heard from them, you know what I mean? You did at the start. I do feel that you did hear from them when they first moved over there. But as time went on, the communication broke down because you've just gone on with your lives, as people do. But there's always been a connection between you two guys. And there always will be. There always will be. Even though you haven't seen somebody for months, years, it's that kind of thing where you've always got that connection with that person. And I do feel this is them coming back, quite established, they've come back as they've left to go and like I say, I do feel it was more of a career thing that they had to go abroad for, but they're coming back quite wealthy. They've made a name for themselves. They've got enough money now to come back, and I do feel it's in a sense of they've learnt what they needed to do over there, and they're coming back home as such to start up a business for themselves, because they are in a good place financially. They're financially stable, very knowledgeable in their field, and they really just can't wait to connect back with you. This is what I'm feeling. So there will be a reunion here, guys. So let's just open this up a little bit further. We've got the Three of Water and the Wishing. And it's weird when I look at this wishing card, because to me, it seems like two people reunited. And I think once you have heard the information from that family or friend member, then it's going to stir up emotions on both sides, really. Like I say, it's something that you just never thought would resurface as it is doing at the minute. So I do feel, guys, for my Aquarians, on the one side of the coin here, I do feel that it is this past relationship where, as I say, I do feel you were quite young at the time in the parting. I'm picking up with somebody in their late 20s, no more than early 30s, when you had this connection, when you had this relationship with this person. And it just you were so emotional at the time that you had to part ways with them. But you knew that they'd got to go and study or do whatever they needed to do. And like I say, you had communication at the start, and you always had a tie. There was always this tie with either a family member of theirs or a close friend that you used to get the odd snippet of information of how they were doing. But then obviously, you were concentrating on your own life, doing your own thing, as we do as life goes on. Just losing my cards here, guys. Got too many cards on this reading. No, we haven't. They're hiding, look. You carried on doing what you needed to do because you were focused at the time, and that focus on what you were trying to achieve in your own life, allowed you to carry on. But like I say, it's though you you sent with them when you parted waves, you sent them with a love arrow, and as I said before, there's a strong connection, and there'll always be a connection. And it's just to say, my Aquarians, like I say, it could just be for a minute few here. This reading is reaching out to, but there is going to be you are going to meet this person again, and it's going to be a reunion. It's just to take it slow, really, because it's going to swirl up so many emotions, guys. It's going to swirl up so many inner emotions, but as I said, it'll be a positive thing that you pair get your communication back and actually see each other in person, because you will meet up and see each other. And in a roundabout way, it's in the back of your mind, it's something that you've always wished for, that they, one day they would come back and you would see them again. But like I say, this is them here. They've come back very knowledgeable in the whatever they went over to learn. They are, they've come back very materialistic, very quite, in a good place. And they can't, big smiley face, they really cannot wait to get that connection back with you, because I think they've always held that little spark in their heart for you as well. So it'll be interesting, because it's going to stir emotions up. But I do feel that with yourself, the Aquarians I'm reading, because obviously here there's 3 elements here, so it is going to cause you a little bit of anguish, because I do feel that you may already be in a relationship yourself. I'm not saying as in like a married, it's not you're not married to anybody, but I do feel like you have obviously been in a long-term relationship for a while. So these emotions that are going to be stirring up, guys, it's going to fill your headspace, because you're going to think, gosh, they're coming, I'm actually going to see them, meet them again, and you'll be a bit concerned of how it's going to affect you. Because obviously it's early days at the minute. You haven't seen them for quite, a long time. So you're going to be thinking in your head, am I still going to have those feelings and thoughts as I did when I saw them off, a couple of years ago, down the line. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an emotional turmoil time for you, but it's like something that you have been wishing underlying. It's something that you've always thought, will I ever see, will they ever come back in my life, and I will see them. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up on the one side of the scale, guys, for my Aquarians. I just place those back. And then on the other side, because obviously I tried to do a relationship side of things on, with the cards. But then on the other side, I feel legalities here that some Aquarians may be dealing with. And it's something that's going to be resurfacing, to do with something that you thought was signed and done on the dotted line. Because here, if I just get these cards, I just feel along the lines of sort of an injustice, really. I just feel that there's something that you put to bed, legal wise, whether that was I don't know, sorting out. I just feel that there was something around a dispute about something, and you thought that that dispute or whatever it was over had been finished and finalised with, and you had a period of time where whatever it was that was causing you issues had stopped. Now, whether that's something as minimal as antisocial behaviour, say you were having trouble with your neighbour next door, and or you were having trouble with an ex-partner who kept bothering you or pestering you communication-wise, and you put something in place, like you know, an injunction to keep them away from you, and for a period of time it worked. That did. For a period of time you hadn't heard from that person who were causing you grief, because on the other side of the coin now I've got like there's a lot of grief being caused by somebody who was causing you harassment, you know, turning up in the street outside your house when they shouldn't be. And like I say, this is resurfacing, guys. This is going to be resurfacing itself here. So yeah, and obviously it caused you a lot of upset and emotion previously. So if we go along the cards again here, so yeah, this is something, like I said, you thought that you'd nipped in the bud, you'd dealt with it, you'd got the injunction out on them, but I do feel, like I say, it's still going along the lines of an ex-partner, but in a different format here. But it's like the problem is going to start coming back at your door, because with this is like you here, and I just feel these elements showing themselves up as the bird element here. It's communication coming in. You might be getting text messages again, causing you, you know, just to think, oh God, it's starting up again. Here was me thinking I'd got it under control, you know, but it's saying you need to focus on this again, because it is raising itself up again here. And basically, it's these two cards here. It's saying, because it's resurfacing, it's something that this time you've got to nail. You've got to sort of, like the arrow there, it's like you've got to have a direct, you've got to have the direct hit now on stopping this, because it's just manifesting itself again. So as we go along the cards, with the moon card, obviously the moon is attached to emotions. And I just feel where you thought you'd completed the cycle and you thought you'd got it under control, as I said, you did go through the legal system and you did get an injunction out to stop them from coming, you know, into the street where you live, or any contact or anything like that. And you did think, I think that some of you may have even moved away to try and stop the harassment. You know, because I'm picking up with the moon card here and the cat and the field here. I just feel that, you know, you went as far as actually moving, so they didn't know where you'd moved to try and stop the harassment. But I just feel that there's going to be some kind of communication. This is what I feel with this card here, the Seven of Air. It's like messages, communication, that's going to start up again and resurface, because the Page of Water again is about things resurfacing. So this is on the other side of the coin then, guys, that I've got here, and it's going to take, you know, you're going to have to focus on this again to think, oh God, this is all starting up again now. They started to harass me again, you know, they found out where I've moved to, even, it could be, but it's saying here, I feel this is a money aspect here, where you're going to have to physically pay out some kind of legal bill or legal fee to take advice, again, from a solicitor's point of view, you know, to get these bail conditions or whatever conditions that were put on them revisited. And obviously it's going to cost you money, but, you know, it's saying it's going to, you know, stir up so much emotion, and you know, it's like a nightmare really that's resurfacing for you, and it was just something that, and the wishing side of it here, it was like you was just wishing that this would never ever resurface. So I just hope I haven't lost you all there with the reading. But like I said, on the one side of the coin, I've got some Aquarians where in the past they had a relationship with somebody, you know, for quite a number of months, where you were sort of only in your sort of early 20s, middle 20s, and it come to a stage where that person you know, through education, study, or whatever, whether their parents left and had to move abroad, I just feel there was no way you could stop it. As much as you loved them and they loved you, they had to go on their journey, and that's what happened. You know, they went on their way, and you left them. You know, you sort of did your Cupid's arrow and you shot it across the you know, the ocean or wherever, to take with them, and there was always that connection with them. And like I say, you did hear from them for a short period of time, but obviously once they got into the studies and they settled and started living their lives, then you carried on living your life, to the point where I do feel that the Aquarians that I was picking up with, one side of them, you know, the person I'm reaching out to, you know, are in a partnership at the moment. Not saying you're married, but you're in a partnership. So having the information come from a family member or a friend that you know were in association with still here, they're letting you know, by the way, they're coming back. They've done all the studying, they've done well for themselves, but they feel they need to come back over here now and carry their profession off, you know, carry on from over here. So it is going to stir up emotions for you to think that they're coming back, but you're quite excited in another, you know, it's something that you've wished for really. But it's actually going to come to fruition now, and you pair will, you know, communicate and meet up again, and then depending on how the feelings lie there between you, but it's about getting the communication back, guys, first to start with. What's more important than anything. So that's what I'm feeling on the one side of the coin. And then on the other side, as I said, I do feel it's an Aquarius who may have had someone, it's something resurfacing from an ex-partner or somebody who's caused trouble in the past, where they had, you know, you had an injunction on them or some kind of conditions on them that they shouldn't be contacting you, they shouldn't be outside your house, causing you harassment basically. And I do feel you thought that had been dealt with, and you actually, I think some of my Aquarians did actually move away, so they wouldn't know where you'd moved to safeguard yourself. But it's like you're starting to get messages now. You're starting to get communication back. It's like your information's been leaked out somewhere along the line, and you can't quite believe the fact that, you know, you've got to be focusing on all this again. That's happening. You know, it's coming back to you. So that's what the resurfacing is there for, that side of the coin. So without any further ado again, I'm going to just give these cards a quick shuffle for you and have a look at an affirmation card. The Moon Goddess Affirmation Cards by Terri Foss. Just to see what card I get out here for you guys. But yeah, that's a strange one for the ones where they're connecting from that person who's been away for quite some time. You know, that's going to be quite an emotional meet, that is, guys. But, you know, it's quite interesting to see any feedback on that one, if it does resonate with anybody. And then again, I feel sorry for the ones who, you know, thought they'd put that harassment, you know, ex-partners, just constant harassment, won't let you get on with your life type of thing, coming back and resurfacing. So yeah, that's just something that you're going to have to be working through again, through the systems. So let's have a look what we've got with the next card for you. And we have got, I am taking time to nourish my soul. And I never take much notice of the words when I see this picture, because for the people who have got in the start again. For the people who are dealing with the ex-partners who are causing them, you know, for this to resurface, I just always see this as red tape for the legality system. And it's like saying you've got to start getting the paperwork out again, the red tape out again, to get this revisited. Where you thought it was completed, it's just saying no. You know, it's just a message to say, unfortunately, because it's resurfacing again with having the harassment and the communication and them finding out where you've moved to, then all the red tape comes out again, you know, to try and sort that out. So that's what I'm feeling there. And then on the other side, with the person who'd you know, you hadn't had any communication with for quite some time, because obviously they're sitting on this like sort of throne here, and it's basically saying you're not aware of what's going to be coming in for you. And as I said, it was a cycle that was completed at the time when they went away, and it's been a long, and looking at the card, I just feel it's historic. It has been, like I say, a while before this, you know, while this person has since been in your sort of energy field. But it's just to say, to be aware that this may open old wounds, as in love, you know, that love connection. It's going to, because of you meeting again after so long, it's going to open up your heart, and obviously your emotions are going to start pouring out there. So that's what I feel on that side. So Aquarius, what I'm going to do now is read you my little bit of poetry add-on when I was reading the cards. And we've got, so stirs up emotions from something you once set sail. For now that ship's returning, so continues the fairy tale of once upon a time, starts to be the here and now. Time to turn the pages of your heart and simply allow the story to unfold how it should be, of two hearts reunited, left in the hands of destiny. And that's what I feel there. That obviously it's going to be a fairy tale that's going to continue in the here and now, because that's how I see the whole vibe of your relationship. And it was like, yeah, once upon a time there was a boy and a girl that met, and then unfortunately the boy had to leave and go on his journey. And I do feel that he didn't have any choice in that, to be fair. As I said, it was a case of whether his family moved away or he had to move away for studying purposes. And that's why you ended up being parted. You had communication to start with, as I said, and then that sort of, you know, broke down. But just take it on board, guys, that they are coming back. You are going to hear the news of them coming back, and it's just to embrace that and just take it a day at a time. You know, excuse me, when you do meet up, just take it a day at a time and just see. Excuse me, I have to excuse my voice. Just see how the story unfolds, because I do feel it's there's always been a connection there, as I said prior to the reading. And then for you guys who are suffering with the resurfacing of, you know, this nightmare of a person, of an ex-partner who, you know, has found out where you've moved to, basically, and the communication is coming back in, and it's just getting all back to the solicitors and letting the police be informed that they, you know, you've just got to focus on all that stuff again, of what you've already done prior. So that's what I'm feeling. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Just to finish the reading on this month, I've got a little collection of charms in here. So I'm just going to give them a little shake up. I will just pull one out for your Aquarius, just to tie the ends for this reading today. Yeah, I have to excuse my voice. I've had shingles for the last 6 weeks, and it's really affected my throat and my ear. So yeah, I'm still suffering a little bit, so I do apologise on that. So let's have a little delve around, see what we pick out. And we have here a horseshoe, and of good luck. So I do feel that on the, like I say, on the side where the person's coming back, that you haven't seen for a while, as in once upon a time the fairy tale still continues, then this is what I'm feeling here. It's like I'm looking at the shape of the horseshoe more than anything. It's like it's not quite completed, and this is what I'm feeling. It's not quite completed, so I just feel that that needs to continue to form a complete circle, really. So yeah, I just feel on that side of things, that's what I'm picking up there. And it's like the universe has sort of intervened a little bit here on that side to get you guys back together. And for you it will be sort of a good look, because as in the fact that it was something that you were wishing for. You've always had that little, you know, that little burning flame within you, that, you know, that you thought that, you know, one day that you would meet up again. And I do feel that is in the pipeline for you guys. You know, whether that'll be the end of October going into November, but definitely by the end, you know, before the year's out, this will come into fruition. Now, regarding the people who are suffering from their ex-partners, you know, it's not really good luck, is it? If you're being harassed from an ex-partner who's actually found out where you are. But I think the good luck on your situation will be that it'll get to a stage where he will get rearrested again for causing, you know, breaching a contract, breaching his terms of conditions. That's what I feel. So once you've got the red tape back in process, it'll be to say that will be sorted and completed, and you know, the right look will come there for you, for that to be stopped again. That's what I'm feeling there, guys. So I hope, like I say, you can take something from that reading for the month of October. And like I say, anything that materialises from this, any feedback on it, if this does resonate with anybody, I do appreciate. So I'll look forward to reading for you guys in the next month, being November. Take care then. Bye.